Welcome Gummers to another World of Warcraft guide. You're here with Gumma. Happy Halloween! And sorry for the late video, my computer died if you guys were keeping track of the comments on my channel. So I spent the last 2 weeks trying to fix my computer, and I sort of built a Frankenstein computer using parts from my old computer to put in my new computer to get it work while I get the power pack and motherboard fixed. So it's sort of working now, but I'm still waiting to repair my main PC. So thanks for bearing with me. Now, all puns aside, I really want to let you guys know about the new Halloween event in 2016 in World of Warcraft Legion. For those of you that have played WoW in the past few years, you guys probably already know this, but this is more sort of towards the new players that have just joined World of Warcraft. So if you're a returning player, yay, happy Halloween. If you're a new player, welcome to Halloween. Halloween is one of those yearly events that we have in World of Warcraft. We've got 12 of them, one for every single month. And if you do every single one of the world events, you essentially get a nice big purple mount, which essentially looks like this. You do the 8 world events and you get this sexy purple mount. It's going to take you at least a year to do it. It took me several years to do it, so don't worry, it's going to take you a while. The achievement is called What a Long Strange Trip It's Been, and you do it by doing all the events. It's throughout the year, so don't worry. This one is Hallowed by Thy Name, which is a really cool one. It's really fun to do. I sort of do it every single year, like it or not. And I've essentially more or less completed it this year, apart from the Masquerade one where you have to get transported by the wands, but you will be able to do that by yourself if you're actually collecting items. Now, what I do every single Halloween is I go from innkeeper to innkeeper to collect these trick-or-treat candies. You essentially go to an innkeeper that has a trick-or-treat bucket and you say, trick-or-treat, and they give you a bag which gives you treats, but they sometimes also trick you and you turn you into a little monster, which means you can't mount up and you can't fly for about a minute. But the cool thing is they always give you a trick-or-treat, and if you get about 150 of these, you can go to this cool vendor over here in Undercity for the Horde, and you can actually buy cool little toys or even pets. And these pets are seasonal, so you can only get them during Halloween, which makes them really rare during the rest of the year. And luckily on my server they sell for over 20,000 gold each. This one actually sells for 24,000 gold, and the Cursed Berman actually sells for 21,000 gold. So I'm gonna buy one of these little cats. I think it's a cat. Yes, it is a cat. But first I have to get 150 of these trick-or-treats. You can do the daily quest to go and clean the Undercity. That happens once a day. You just go to the Undercity and you clean it up from all the smoke bombs that the Alliance throw down. And as a hoarder, you can actually go to Stormwind and actually throw these smoke bombs down every single day. And this is going to give you trick-or-treat candy. You can also do the Headless Horseman daily. You just queue up, it's a dungeon, you kill the Headless Horseman, and you get one of these cool loot-filled pumpkins that also give you trick-or-treat candies, but you also have a chance to get the Headless Horseman Mount. It's the one here. It looks very similar to Midnight. Let me see if I can show you Midnight. Fiery warhorse, here it is. It looks very similar to Midnight, but more or less it is a cool mount. So as you can see, Midnight, it's a little more red. The Headless Horseman's mount is a little more black. No racism intended, but it is a pretty cool mount. It is a flying mount, just like the Headless Horseman, so don't worry, even though it's a horse, it is a flying mount. It is a really cool mount. It has a very low drop rate, so if you got it this year, congratulations. If you didn't get it this year, don't worry, there's always next year. A good little trick that I use to always get these seasonal mounts is I use all my characters to do the daily dungeon queue. I did that for the love... No, wait, sorry, I can't do that for the lovebirds. I think I did that for Love is in the Air. Yeah, I think I did that for Love is in the Air. I did that for Brewfest, and I did that for the Headless Horseman mount. So I had all my ults on maximum level, well, most of my ults on maximum level, and then I queued every single day for the dungeon. It doesn't... the drop rate is the same, but since I have more chances of getting it, it's a bit like winning the lotto. Instead of only buying 1 ticket, I buy 10 or 11 tickets. So hopefully I get it, which I was lucky enough to get it. I got mine last year, I think, and I'm very happy with it. I can sort of ride it around. It's really cool. Unfortunately, you can't buy it with trick-or-treat candy, so it is still a little bit rare, but it is really exciting, and it always makes Halloween more fun if you don't have these mounts, because you sort of look forward to Halloween next year to get it. I'm just gonna hand in a few more quests here. You get this quest, Hallowed End Treats for Scoops. You go to the major cities and you perform tasks for the innkeepers, and they give you these pieces of candy and you hand it in and you get 10 trick-or-treat candies, which is really cool. And then once I've got 150, I just go and buy another cat. So essentially, I, in a day, made 48,000 gold worth of pet money. It's going to be worth a little bit more later during the year, so I would hold on to them and sell them in about 6-ish months when people sell their supply. That's a really cool thing to do, but I also like to do it just to get a little bit of leveling on my characters, but also a little bit of gold. Now, a good way to collect these trick-or-treat candies from the innkeeper is actually just go into the flight master, because now we have all the flight paths. So even if you create a new character and you just hit 100 or 110, you have all the flight paths. So you guys don't know how lucky you are. Back in the day, we had to manually go to every single flight master, talk to him in order to unlock the flight path. Nowadays, every single character that's created has all the flight paths unlocked. So all you have to do is go from one flight master to another, and then from the flight master to innkeeper, pick up the trick-or-treat, back to the flight master, go to the other inn. You guys have it so easy compared to how we had it back in the day. So all you gotta do is fly from one place to another, collect all the trick-or-treat candies. You will get 150 just by doing the Eastern Kingdom's Kalimdor and these quests over here. I just had to do those 2 regions and these quests over here within one day, and I got 150 of these trick-or-treat candies. I think I got around 60 something in the Eastern Kingdoms, and I got around 60 something in Kalimdor, and then I got, I think, 16 here. So I ended up getting around 150 or something, and that got me my cat. And that only took, I think, about 1 to 2 hours in total, but that wasn't sort of playing, that was mostly just flying from one place to another. I did that on my warlock to experiment. If you do this at max level, every single one of these trick-or-treats at the innkeeper is going to give you around 9 gold. But if you're doing with a character that is not at max level, you are going to get experience, but you're not going to get the gold. So depending on your motivations, I would highly recommend that you actually do it on a maxed out character. But if you're going to do it on all your characters, you might as well go for it. You might not get the gold, and it might cost you, I think, about 15-20 gold to fly from one flight master to another, but it's worth it because at the end of it, you're going to get one of these pets that's going to be worth more than 20,000 gold, hopefully on your server. It is on mine, even though I'm on a highly populated server. I'm actually shocked there's not an oversupply on my server, considering the population amount, but I don't know, maybe not a lot of people are doing it. But I do love Halloween because you get these cool pets, and I also get cool rings from the Headless Horseman. So I've got these level 835 rings, and I've been too lazy. I can't even do heroic dungeons yet, so they've been really nice to me to get my item level up. It's just because my computer's been dead for about 2 weeks now, and I haven't been able to play a lot of World of Warcraft. So doing the Headless Horseman is really cool because you can get a mount, you can buy pets with these trick-or-treat candies, and you can also get some cool epics. I haven't got the Headless Horseman's helm this year, but it is a plate helmet. It's really cool, and you can also get a flaming sword. I do have it on a couple of tunes. I think it dropped here as well. I think I might have put it in my inventory. Unfortunately, you cannot disenchant these epics. That's the only bummer. But apart from that, they're actually pretty good item level. I don't think they have a vendor value. So you're kind of screwed on that front. But hey, rings are really cool. They're going to get your item level up, and they should last you a little while. Another cool thing that I will tell you, if you do have a toon that is not level 100, pick up this quest here. Grab the Wickerman Ashes, and you're going to get a buff which increases your reputation gains by 10%, as well as your experience. So if you're leveling a character, do this and get your experience and reputation up. It's similar to the buff that you get from the Dark Moon Fair, which you should be doing every single time, but it's a Halloween seasonal buff, and I think you can do it once a day, but it lasts for 2 hours, which is really cool. I'm going to actually use it when I'm playing my ults a little bit, but I am going to have to play my main a little bit because I'm a little bit behind on the guides. Sorry for the messy bags, but I've been off for about 2 weeks. Oh, by the way, I highly recommend if you're actually going for the achievement, because there are a few achievements tied to Hallow's End. That's the trick-or-treats of Azeroth. You have to get the Eastern Kingdoms, the Kalimdor, and the Outland trick-or-treats from every single innkeeper, and they sort of work as a checklist for you. So if you look at the names of the inns, you'll essentially know where to fly. So it says the Northern Barrens, the Crossroads, Gromdom Farm, Nozzlepot's Outpost, and Ratchet. Those are all flight paths. So not every single flight path has an innkeeper, and not every single innkeeper has a trick-or-treat basket. But this essentially works as a checklist for you to see which inns you have to visit. And if you sort of shift-click it, I cannot activate that, but if you shift click the achievement, if you haven't done it before, it will turn up on the right hand side of your screen, and you can use it as a checklist when you're flying from innkeeper to innkeeper. And also, if you're doing Trick-or-Treat Pandaria, I've actually got an add-on called TomTom, which is a GPS sort of name, you know, TomTom GPSs, and gonna put a few macros in the description below that I use to actually manually fly to these innkeepers, just because I wanted to actually mine the ghost iron ore on the way to the innkeeper, just because I wanted to send that to my alchemist to transmute into living steel to turn into mounts. So if you want to do that, I'm going to put the TomTom add-on macros, well, scripts, macro scripts, that you can actually use to go from innkeeper to innkeeper. All that does is actually puts an arrow in front of your character to show you the direction and the distance that you need to fly to get to the location. And I'm also going to put a sort of a list of flight paths that you will have to go to in Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms in order to get all the trick-or-treats. You can do that through the achievement, but if you're a bit lazy and you want to have it on your second screen, I'm going to put in the description, so check out the description for that. Other than that, there's not much else you can do in Halloween. It's just mostly fun. You just do these daily quests, you hopefully get a mount, you hopefully get some gear, and you sort of wait till next year. I know you're probably gonna say it's cutting it short. There's only 3 days till the end of Halloween, but it only took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours in order to get one of these pets on my alt, and I've done this on both toons. I've got 8 toons left, wait, it's 9 toons left, sorry. So if I sort of dedicated a few hours, I could do this on the rest of my toons. I'll probably do it on a few more, and I spent the entire time watching TV shows while I was doing it, so it's not exactly a lot of work. All you gotta do is put a TV show on the second monitor, or minimize your monitor to sort of take up 70 or 50% of the screen, and you put a TV show tab in the corner, and you can sort of watch TV shows or movies while you're doing this and make gold. It's really sweet. I do it all the time when I'm farming dungeons or heroics or LFRs or anything like that. I'm normally never just concentrating 100% on WoW unless I'm filming a let's play or actually doing PvP. If I'm doing PvE dungeon finder queues, I'm not paying attention. I'm one of those people because it's just a grind. Whenever I'm grinding, I do that. So I highly recommend you do that and you just sort of fly from innkeeper to innkeeper, grab all the cool loot and get these pets. Other cool things to actually do in Halloween, I don't know if there's a lot. I mean, you can see the burning of the Wicker Man. He's sitting right here. There used to be one. I'm just going to see if the Wicker Man's actually outside of Undercity, and this costume is really hot. Like, it's summer here in Australia, so it's crazy. So the Wicker Man used to be out here back in the day, but I don't think he is anymore. So the Wicker Man used to be here close to this fire, but he's not. He's now inside the ruins of Lordaeron. Fair enough. And there used to be a burning of the Wicker Man on Halloween. So on Halloween itself, they used to burn the Wicker Man, which used to be really cool, but I don't think they do it anymore since he's already on fire here. And of course, there is that quest to go to Stormwind and douse some poisons on their Wicker Man or something, and you're actually going to get trick-or-treat candy for that too. But when you're doing these trick-or-treats, you're actually going to get all these wands yourself. And if you're getting 150 trick-or-treat candies, you're going to get all the wands eventually, as well as pretty much every single mask. So don't go and buy the wands and don't go and buy the masks and waste your trick-or-treat candy. You're going to get them all anyway, especially if you're doing the Headless Horseman daily. You're going to get more of them, so you're going to get all of them eventually. And if you don't get them now, don't worry, you can get them next year, because I don't think they're going to actually release the next expansion within the next year. So you're going to have a chance to do the Halloween seasonal events again, and hopefully then you're going to have max level characters so you can queue all of them and hopefully get your mount. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't worry, I'm going to get you more WoW guides out now that I've got my computer working again. I just have to wait for some of my add-ons to update so I can actually use the data from those add-ons to actually make a guide, because I do use a lot of add-ons, and without using the add-ons, it's just going to look really messy. And if I have the add-ons, I can actually show you the paths that I use to farm some items. I know the prices have dropped in WoW Legion, but when you really think about it, if you're farming items and they're still worth 40, 50 gold a piece, and you're making several thousand gold an hour, that's still pretty good. So even though the prices have dropped, there's a lot of gold to be made in WoW Legion, and just playing WoW with Legion makes you a crap ton of gold. So I'm going to get those guides out to you soon. I hope you've enjoyed Halloween, and I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, be sure to like and comment below, because the more comments and likes that you have and engagements you have with WoW videos, the more WoW videos you get pushed in your feed. And if you don't, guys, you know, sort of watch and comment and interact with my non-WoW videos, then those videos are not going to get pushed on your feed. So that's kind of how the Google algorithm works. Even if people say I'm bullshitting, it's kind of how the Google algorithm works. It's a bit like Facebook in the sense that if you keep searching for something and interacting with something, they're just going to push more of it at you, which is why you sort of typically don't get stuff you don't interact with in your ad section. And anyway, long story short, that's just how it works. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed Halloween. Oh god, I just repeated myself. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Nijikuma out. Bye. God, this is hot. I gotta take it off. Oh, by the way, this thing comes with a tail. Cool, huh?